It's okay. Welcome in this session about geometric mechanics. I am Géry de Saxé. Unfortunately, my co-chairman Jean Lerbet cannot be here with us. He apologizes, and for personal reasons, he cannot to be here. But Joël Bensoham will replace him. Also, the first presentation is of my co-chairman, and I'll present this communication on intrinsic incremental mechanics in his place. So please be indulgent with me because even if I am interested in these topics, I'm not author, and but I'll be my best. I'll do my best to present it and to answer the questions. Okay, but you control my time. Okay. The introduction is devoted to historical insights. After having a look to the linear framework at the origin of the problem, we shall review the extension to the nonlinear framework thanks to the language of vector bundles. Our goal is to discuss the usual concepts of elasticity, equilibrium, and stability in a free-coordinate geometric framework. Thanks to these geometrizations, we can extend the mean result of the KISS linear approach to the so-called incremental evolution problem. At the origin of the problem, there was investigations concerning stability issues of non-conservative systems, with the proposition of a new criterion based on the laws of positive definiteness of the symmetric part, Ks, of the tangent stiffness matrix. In fact, there are two different definitions of the stability in the literature. Lyapunov divergence stability based on the positive definiteness of the determinant of K, and Hill stability based on the one of the symmetric part, Ks of K, which leads to the same criterion in the particular case of conservative system for which the stiffness matrix is symmetric. Now, chronologically, the K concept of kinematic structural stability, in short KISS, emerged from the paradoxical phenomenon of a possible destabilization of a stable equilibrium by adding kinematic constraints in 2010. Next, in 2014, of the associated concept of geometric degree of non-conservativity, in short GDNC, that was presented at the next edition of GSI. Since 2017, the efforts have been done for the double expansion to the nonlinear framework and the continuous systems framework. The goal of the presentation is to pass from the linear case where we are working with a simple vector space to the nonlinear ones that requires a vector bundle over a manifold. The next to revisit involve the usual concept of stability, tangent stiffness matrix, loading path, and elasticity to give them a geometric meaning and to propose some interesting new issues. Let us begin with the linear KISS framework. K is the tangent stiffness matrix. We consider it at an equilibrium point, ME, on the configuration manifold, P being an increasing loading parameter. For the divergence Lyapunov criterion, the instability is reached for a given critical value PDIV of this loading parameter when the determinant of K vanishes. For the second order work instability criterion, the instability is triggered beyond a given value, critical value, PSO, when Ks is no longer positive definite. Now, when adding a family of kinematical constraints, the corresponding critical loads are denoted PDIV-C and PSOC. And it can be proved that the following inequality, that PSO is always less than to PDIV and also to PSOC for any system of constraints. For the particular case of a conservative system, K is symmetric and the two criteria are equivalent. So we have here the equality, and consequently PDIV is less than or equal to PDIV-C with additional constraints. But in general, for non-conservative systems, the paradoxical inverse condition that PDIV is greater than PDIV-C may occur for a suitable system of constraints. More precisely, it can be proved that PSO is less than or equal to PDIV-C, and there exists a system of constraints such that the equality is reached. The demonstration is constructive. We can find by this proof the effective, rarely this system of constraints. Hence the paradox. To illustrate by a simple example, we consider Ziegler 2 degrees of freedom systems with composed of 2 rigid bars and 2 elastic hinges with torsion stiffness K. P is an adimensional load factor, and there is a unique equilibrium configuration when the 2 bars are vertical. Now, the determinant of the stiffness tangent matrix at this point, this matrix is given here. The determinant is equal to 1. So I don't know. So 1. So the critical value PDIV is infinite. But now, if we add a constraint that the bar AB remains vertical, the matrix is reduced to this element, and the critical value is 2, obviously inferior to the infinity. So we have the paradox that the system without constraint being unconditionally stable becomes unstable when adding these constraints. Now, as I said, the extension to the nonlinear framework was previously obtained for the GDNC approach that requires only the use of the exterior derivative of section of the cotangent bundle. For the extension to the nonlinear case, we need derivatives of section of the cotangent bundle that requires connections, and the question is which ones. So this nonlinear case is more difficult to tackle, and this is the problem that we want now to present. Some words about constitutive law, for example, elasticity, but there are other ones as plasticity. This is a geometrization proposed by the authors. Constitutive law must be invariant under any infinitesimal rigid displacement. That forms a Lie group, Euclid's group, D. And this suggests to endorse the configuration manifold with a structure of principal fiber bundle of structural group D, base B, and projection pi. So in this language, rigid infinitesimal displacement is tangent to the fibers, so it is the so-called vertical tangent vector. Now, in following the analytical mechanics, a force is thought as something that, acting on an infinitesimal displacement, rigid or not, gives a scalar, the power of f, and it depends linearly on the displacement. So a system of force can be considered as a section, a smooth section of the cotangent bundle. We can distinguish two kinds of forces, the given forces, for example, the gravity, and the link force associated constitutive laws. So we impose that the value of the one form of this section of the cotangent bundle, omega FL, vanishes for any infinitesimal rigid displacement. Now, we say that the system is elastic if there exists a field of one forms, omega EL, a section of the cotangent bundle to the base, such that omega FL is obtained by push forward by the projection, these conditions. Next, if there is a function, a scalar function WEL on the base, such that omega EL is minus its differential, we call the system hyperelastic. On the other hand, if omega EL is non-closed, the system is said to be hypoelastic. Now, this is definitions of a new concept, the one of incremental hypoelastic law. It is an Ehresmann connection, omega from the cotangent bundle to the base to the set of horizontal subspecies of the tangent bundle to T star B. That is supplementary of the subspace of vertical tangent vectors. Now, let's come back to the equilibrium and stability concept. The mechanical behavior of the system is modeled by a section of the cotangent bundle T star M. The section is omega F. Omega F is sum of the one form corresponding to the given forces and the one corresponding to the link forces. And we say that a point ME of the configuration manifold is an equilibrium configuration if the section omega F vanish at these points. In other words, 6 minutes. It intersects at ME the nil section of T star M. Now, we want to give a geometric free coordinate definition of the stability. We said that an equilibrium configuration is transversally stable or T-stable if the one form, omega F, transversally intersects the nil section of the cotangent bundle that can be identified to the manifold M itself. Now, we need to have objective geometric derivations. It is based on the structure of vector bundle of the of T star M that we note now in general E with the base B and projection P. At equilibrium point XE, there is a canonical decomposition of the tangent space to the manifold as a direct sum of the tangent space to the base and to the tangent space to the fiber. When considering a section of this vector bundle S, we have a free coordinate definition of the vertical derivative of S at XE. We consider the tangent map to S, and we project on the tangent space to the fiber. So we say that our transversality condition of S at the nil sections means that the vertical derivative of S is a surjective map. Now, we are able to revisit the definition to give a precise definition of the sorry. Our approach leads to a coordinate-free definition of the tangent stiffness operator K at ME. It is a vertical derivative of the force one form, omega f. That is a two covariant tensor on the tangent space to the configuration space M at ME. Of course, by the choice of a coordinate system, we recover the usual tangent stiffness matrix. At an equilibrium configuration ME is said to be T-stable if and only if the vertical derivative of omega f at ME is bijective. Or, in other words, if and only if the determinant of the tangent stiffness operator is not null. Next, we would revisit the 2 minutes, okay, to revisit the concept of loading path. It is seen as a couple where V lambda is an embedded submanifold of M, and omega L is a family of smooth section of the cotangent bundle to VL. We say that loading path is regular if omega L transversally intersects the nil sections for all value of the parameter sigma, which allow to, this is the nil section, this line. When sigma runs, the equilibrium point moves on these nil sections, and we observe here in this figure that the corresponding loading path is regular because of the transversality here. Now, for the simple example of the beginning, the parameter sigma is the load P. Remember that there was only one equilibrium point over which takes place the incremental evolution. Of course, here you see also in the figure that the transversality condition is satisfied and the loading path is regular. Remember that the divergent load is infinite. Now, I arrive to the end. We come back to the problem of what happens when adding kinematical constraints. In our geometric approach, that means we choose a submanifold W, a submanifold W of VL. Then the loading path, VLV, induces another one, LW, and the following question arises. If LVL was regular, a regular loading path, under which condition LW becomes singular or remains regular? To address this issue, we consider we prove two propositions considering the vertical derivative of omega FL at the equilibrium point ME of sigma. The first proposition, if the this two covariant tensor is symmetric and degenerated, then there is a submanifold representing a system of constraints such that LW is singular at sigma. The other one say that if this tensor is positive definite for all sigma, then for any embodied submanifold W, the corresponding regular the corresponding loading path is regular. This result makes a full bridge between the T stability and ill stability in the literature. This in the extended geometric KISS framework. For future work, the fundamental open problem is to establish such a geometric framework to tackle similar question for plastic evolution where the system is dissipative. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. So we have time for one or two questions. Quickly, question.
You say that in some particular case you can find the classical tangent stiffness matrix. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can recover the classical case of tangent stiffness matrices in some cases.
The aim of the work is to start from the standard definition of the stiffness matrix and to render this concept free coordinate. So to have a geometric view of this notion. I don't know if I answer the question correctly.
Okay, I think we can thank you again for this difficult task to speak for another colleague.